So it's been a minute since I did a video on 90 Day Fiancé, but I have been watching. And today I want to talk about Mike and Ximena. Oh, poor Mike. Hey, welcome back to my channel. My name is Debbie. I am the She in Sheality TV, and today I want to talk about 90 Day Fiancé the other way, and I want to talk about Mike and Ximena. So I just finished watching one of the most recent episodes. Another new episode is going to air today, but I thought, let me get this one out of the way. Mike and Ximena. Mike, of course, is the American, and Ximena lives in Colombia, okay? Mike just makes me feel like he's just this sweet little guy who he just wants someone to love him, right? Period. Which is why he found himself on an international dating site, just like all the rest of them do, to find someone that he could love who would love him back, right? And he finds Ximena, okay? Ximena has 2 kids, and I'm sorry for the eye roll, but I'm just like, oh God, I don't know how much more of this. Like, hey, let me find some guy that I can take advantage of. He can take care of me and my 2 kids, one that I got pregnant with in a prison. Like, it's just, this one is just a mess. And it's a mess because Mike just seems like the kindest, most naive person I've ever seen on this show. And although she seems like she doesn't even seem like a nice person. Like, she's not nasty to him like Jasmine is to Gino, but she just, her motives are clear, right? When she tells you about who she is, like when she says her kids have 2 different dads, I think one of them is in prison, and she went to the prison to have sex with this guy, and of course she wound up pregnant, and the kid, the guy has not seen the kid, okay, and the kid is now I think 4, right, the youngest one. And so now she wants Mike to be daddy to her kids. Mike has furnished her whole place and he pays her rent, right? Mike bought her a couch, Mike bought her a dining room set, Mike bought her a fridge, Mike bought her a stove. And like I said, he bought her, or he pays her rent, okay? In this last episode, Mike and Ximena have finally done the deed, right? And he talks like, you know, when the producer asks him, you know, how was it? And he's like, oh, it's the best time I've ever had. And, you know, it was great. It was fantastic. And Mike is talking kind of like, you know, like she did for him, but he kind of makes it sound like, you know what? You assume that if it was good for him, it would have to be good for her. Maybe not. Maybe not. I'm like, that's a bad assumption to make. I'm sorry, I take it back. Mike is just talking about, you know, how great it was. He literally says, verbatim, it was the best time he's ever had with a woman. And I don't know, y'all, I'm sorry. Like, Mike is a nice guy and everything, but looking at Mike, he hasn't had a lot of times with women, good or not that good. I don't know. Listen, don't hate me in the comments. I don't make it true. If you have a working set of eyes, you can see that Mike is not the type of guy that women are going to be falling all over, right? But he is, like I said at the beginning of this piece, he's just a sweet guy, right? And she is 100% taking advantage of him. Now, the issue that I have with her in this episode is, never mind that she traipses her family everywhere, where Mike is trying to get her to go to be, you know, spend some quality time with her. Like, they go to her favorite place in Colombia, like it's a beach or whatever. She brings the whole family, like the entire family gets in the van and they're all going, right? When the producers ask her, going back a second, when the producers ask her how their, you know, intimate time was, she says, well, it wasn't the best. Like, he didn't blow her back out, which I'm feeling like he feels like he did. But she says it wasn't the best, but she feels like he feels like it was a great time. And you know what? That's what he says. And you know what? I don't care. As long as Mike has a good time, I feel sad that eventually she's going to have to let him down, because she tells us in this last episode that she can't have more kids. And Mike doesn't know that. And Mike wants kids, right? Now, this woman has had months, and I believe they've been speaking for longer than months. They're into the years, right? She's had years to tell him that she can't have kids, and she didn't. So she tells the producer that, oh, well, I wanted him to come to Colombia so we could spend some time getting to know each other, and I didn't want to tell him that over the phone. I call bullshit. She didn't want to tell him until he came to Colombia and got to know her. And she felt like, and I'm going to say this, this is my opinion, but this isn't hard to see. She felt like if he came to Colombia and spent some time with her and her family, her telling him that she can't have kids anymore might be not such a hard blow as her telling him over the phone. Does that make sense? She lessens her chances of being rejected if he comes to Colombia and spends some time with her than if she was to just tell him on the phone from the States. Does that make sense? So she's not doing it to save him any heartbreak or whatever. She's doing it 100% for herself, right? And this, I can't stand people who hide shit when you're dating online. Fucking drives me nuts. Can you tell I've had one or two experiences with this? Pisses me off. It's like, you know what? That's not fair. Tell him what he needs to know and let him make that decision. Don't take that away from him by saying, oh, I didn't want to tell him over the phone. I wanted him to... Such a crock of shit. Such a crock of shit. So Mike and Ximena, in this episode that's coming up, and I'll probably do another video on this tomorrow, she's going to tell him that she can't have kids. Or in the trailer, she tells him that she can't have kids. And you know how they do with these trailers. They'll show the trailer for next time and it won't show up till like 3 weeks from now. I don't know, we'll see. But that's what's supposed to happen in this next episode. So let's move on to the non-existent couple, Ben and Mahogany. Now, I talked about Ben and Mahogany in this video. And I talked about how I thought Ben and Mahogany were a scam. I thought for sure they were a scam because he says that she's the love of his life, but he's never seen her face. She's never seen her face. He's never seen her face. And they've never like spoken on video or anything like that. They've only spoken over the phone, right? In addition, I'm sorry, her name's Mahogany. Come on. And she's like a blonde-haired, blue-eyed white woman. Anyway, I'm like, yeah, no, this is a scam. This is going to be like a Caesar and Maria or a David and Lana. It's going to be one of those things, right? Well, as it turns out, what are we, 3-4 episodes into the season now? And we have still not yet seen Ben and Mahogany. I'm kind of guessing that maybe production went, yeah, we've done this a couple of times before. Maybe we shouldn't do this again. But let me know if you guys have seen them and I'm missing it. But I've seen every episode and I have not seen a Ben and Mahogany pop up in any of them. So anyways, yeah, thank God. Because really, that would have been a waste of time. And I hope that they didn't already film it. Well, maybe they've already filmed it and just decided not to air it. Maybe they didn't film it. Who knows? Who knows? But I'm kind of glad that they're not there because I feel like I'm wasting my time. Anyway, that's all I got for 90 Day Fiancé The Other Way for today. Again, and as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.